Well, all right, let's talk about Kirk Cousins, who there's some tough stats out there. In his last 4 games, he's thrown 8 interceptions and 0 touchdowns, which is not ideal. Now, there is a bit of misleadingness there where they scored multiple touchdowns in this game. It's just they were all rushing touchdowns, but still, not what you want. Let's talk about what actually went right, because they did move the ball effectively in this game. That wasn't an issue, but then there were the turnovers, which that's been the issue for Cousins. Now has 15 interceptions on the year. Let's talk about it all. Starting off with a good play. It's a man coverage concept, and what are the Vikings going to do? They're going to blitz you, especially when it's a quarterback who isn't very mobile, like Cousins. You see how Cousins takes the snap. He's going to look in Darnell Mooney's direction, who's been a really nice piece for them this season. It's a one-on-one matchup. And one thing I was interested in going into this game was how well was the Vikings secondary going to hold up? No Stephon Gilmore, who's their superstar corner. How well can they handle that? Well, here, as you see, on this play, not as well, Darnell Mooney able to win his rep. And granted, Darnell Mooney wins his reps against a lot of players. He's been a really good player for them this season. But, Atlanta able to make plays happen. Absolutely. This one's another one, actually weirdly, also to Darnell Mooney. It's going to be a man coverage concept on a 3rd down and 8. They're going to be passing the ball down the field because single safety deep, you got a one-on-one matchup, and there's only a minute left. If you want to try and get into the end zone on this drive, you're going to have to throw the ball down the field. So Cousins takes a snap, and you see, Darnell Mooney, again, winning his rep. This is really good offense, I would say, by the Atlanta Falcons to make something like this happen, and, is in pretty good position right here. Cousins, to his credit, puts that one right on the money. They're able to get all the way inside the 10-yard line, so there were definitely some positives. Like, to say that this was just a disaster performance by Cousins is not true. Like, last week I thought he was really bad. This week, this was definitely an up and down performance, I think it's fair to say. But those were the ups. Let's talk about the down moments. First, this play. So this was an interesting situation. It's a 4th down and 5, and the Falcons have been aggressive in these spots all season long. They tend to go for it when they're right around here. It'd be a long field goal. And the way Koo has kind of played this year while playing through an injury, probably for the best to go for it, or at least certainly you don't want to kick the field goal, and punting only helps you so much when you're only getting probably 20, 30 yards of field position, so why not go for it? I like the call. Cousins takes the snap, and I guess the one curious thing you could look at here is this really the right player to be looking at in this situation? Ray McLeod, who, to his credit, had 98 receiving yards in this game, and I think is also having a nice season, but you got London, you got Darnell Mooney, and even Kyle Pitts is someone who they have looked to in these situations this season. Ray McLeod's the guy they're looking towards, and you see, this route, is it open? Well, there's a window, right? It's worth a shot, and again, this is kind of how Cousins has to play, is if he sees an opportunity, he kind of just has to take it, right? He can't make something happen on his own. He's not mobile. He has to make this throw. As you see, it's not a perfect throw, and they're just not quite able to make that tough grab. It was good defense. I'll give credit to Minnesota first. Definitely they played that well, but also, I think, it was, they weren't quite able to win. The Falcons weren't, and that was a big play for a couple of reasons. First off, well, you turned the ball over. Now, Minnesota has the ball. That's not good. But also, the Falcons then got weirdly conservative in a way they haven't been all season. And I don't know if it was because they missed this and then adjusted their game plan or what. But later on in the game, they were at midfield and decided to punt on a 4th down and 2, which I thought was a curious decision. And again, later on, they were at the 2-yard line on a 4th down and goal with 10 seconds left in the half. They elected to kick the field goal instead of going for it. So got weirdly conservative there. Didn't fully understand that. But now let's go to the big negatives. Listen, you can deal with the occasional, Kirk Cousins can't make something happen if a play is, if it's a small window, maybe you're not going to make it work, whatever. This is the issue, and this is why Falcons fans are, I scrolled the Falcons subreddit, I tend to do that. I look at most teams' subreddits just to kind of see where the fan bases are at. And they have completely turned on Cousins. They are not thrilled with him. Part of it was he made comments after the game, which was when I left the field, it was 21-21, and then I came back and we were down 14, which is, not something that's going to make the fans thrilled with you. But also these plays. So, you can't turn the ball over. That was Desmond Ritter's issue. Now it's Cousins' issue. You see Drake London, how he's going to try and get into a gap in coverage. Watch as when Cousins runs this play action, he's going to look down the field and with a clean pocket fires down the field. And as of right here, I don't know what he was seeing here. There's clearly a Minnesota player in front of London. I mean, even if you look at London, his body language, he seems a little surprised the ball's coming in this direction. I don't think he was ready for this. This pass, of course, gets intercepted, and that was first down and 10 when they were in enemy territory. They were in Minnesota territory. Just a bad decision. No other way to put it. I think he just missed the Minnesota player, but I'm not really sure why. This play was the other interception of this game, which this one's a little bit weird because the situation. 6.5 minutes left, down 14 points. And Cousins, despite the fact that you probably don't want to say to the media that, hey, last time I touched the ball, we were tied, and now all of a sudden we're down 14, that is true. All of a sudden he touches the ball and he's down 14. He does have to now kind of, he now has to dig himself out of a hole that wasn't really his fault that they got into. Because of this, he might have to take a chance that he otherwise wouldn't, but that's also how football works. Sometimes you have to, help out, when your defense doesn't play well. What's happening here is it's Kyle Pitts running a deep shot. Vikings are sending to house. All-out pressure right here. Cousins takes a snap. He's going to look in Pitts' direction, really just throws one up, which is, I think, the correct call. Let's try and score a touchdown right here, one-on-one. Let's hope that we can make it work. No issues with the throw. I think that's smart. Well, I guess I should say no issues with the decision to make this throw. I think that part is smart. A lot of issues with the throw itself. Look, it's just off. I mean, could Kyle Pitts have ran a better route? I don't know, maybe, but that just can't happen. And again, those two guys not being able to make that play work results in an interception. If they score a touchdown, they very much have a chance. 6.5 minutes left. They're only down one score. I mean, that was a touchdown that could have brought you back in the game, and they just couldn't make it happen. And there was also this play, which was just a weird play. So the Vikings are currently up 4 points. So, for Cousins, usually he was happy when the Vikings are up. Now not, because he's playing against them. It's a 3rd and 14, so the odds of converting are small. You see Drake London running a deep shot more over the middle. And when this play begins, hey, you get Drake London one-on-one. That's good. Let's throw it. Except you see there's a Minnesota player. I know it's a little blurry, but he's really right in front of Drake London. I mean, this is a turnover-worthy play, I would say. Except you see Drake London kind of just fights it out of his hands. They get the simultaneous possession ruling, which means it goes to the offense. But great play by Drake London. That was not a good pass by Cousins. I don't know if it should have been an interception or what. I'll let you be the judge. I think by rule it's not an interception, but I'm saying I don't know if you want to blame him and say it should have been an interception or it was just a risky pass, whatever. Again, I think that this performance was a lot better than last week's performance, but it's still kind of the game where it's I think if he plays this well against some of the not very good teams that they're about to play coming up, because their schedule gets a lot easier these next 2 weeks. They're playing the Raiders and the Giants before finishing with, I think, 2 competitive games, the Commanders and the Panthers, who have played a lot better this past month. I think if Cousins plays this well against the Raiders or the Giants, I think they probably can win those games. He just can't play as poorly as he played against the Chargers. But if he puts in this performance against the Commanders or even the Panthers, I don't see them winning. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.